Hello, Facebook and YouTube both. Good morning to everybody. I have tried to let you all know that I'm going to be live today from Idaho. And a little bit later in the day, because when I got up this morning at 3 or 4 o'clock, I said, our time at home, I said, I don't think I'm going to do this at 10 o'clock Eastern time. I'm going to try to do it at a different time, see if I get people to watch me. Because so far, I haven't gotten any live phone calls. By the way, on Facebook, call me on my cell phone right now, 540-325-1191. Now, on YouTube, there you can see the number. It's on my head, 540-325-1191. Call me with any question or just say hello. I'm on vacation, so you can just say hello, and I can have a good time doing that, saying hi to you all out there. So. And I've stolen my father-in-law's glasses. I'm on their back porch right now. You might hear some water running out there. He's working on their garden, finishing up the summer because it's now getting cooler out here. And anyway, so how many people I've got watching live? I have a total of nobody still. So I have completely succeeded in my adventure. I had a 12-hour day yesterday, starting at about 3 or 4 in the morning Eastern time and ending up out here, I don't know what time it was, but whatever time it was, I went to bed and slept till this morning. So I did eat a little bit, but it was a nice flight all the way around, and nobody got lost. I didn't have any delays, and had a good chili bowl at the Seattle airport for under $6. Which, if you've ever been to an airport and realized you could get food for less than $6 there, it's pretty amazing. So, anyway, all right, so I'm going to start off talking about vacuum cleaners, but please don't forget to call me if you can. Look at there, I'll put that right in front of that number there. Okay, and we're going to go from there. I've got a vacuum cleaner here that I did not sell to my in-laws, but I told them to buy it years ago, and it is a Shark, S-H-A-R-P vacuum cleaner. Very nice vacuum, and it still runs. Matter of fact, when I heard it running here yesterday, I made a comment about the bearings on it needing to be replaced, and believe it or not, the foot pedal, it still works on this vacuum cleaner. That means they've been pretty gentle to it. So I'm going to pull off the brush roll here and take a gander at it in front of all of you all, because it was making some noises that I'd like to see if it needs to be worked on. Ooh. But it actually is turning pretty good here. If you ever have a vacuum cleaner, it makes a rumbly tumbly noise, and you don't know what's going on, the first thing you ought to do is take off the brush roll, this thingy here, and run the vacuum cleaner without the brush roll on it. That way it'll give you an idea where the noise is coming from. If it's coming from this, well, you might be able to clean up the bearings on the ends. This vacuum in particular, they don't make the brush roll anymore, so I can replace the bearings in it or lubricate the bearings in there, but I can't replace the brush roll anymore. They don't make parts. It's too old for that. They say the same thing about me sometimes. I'm too old for that. So anyway, but if the noise is coming from the vacuum itself, the rumbling noise, then possibly the problem could be that the motor bearings are going bad, and there's not too much you can do for those, except for the old Electroluxes, which I could tear down, well, and the old Hoovers too. I could tear down all the way to the bearings, clean them up, and lubricate them or replace them. And that was a great thing that you could do. Still nobody watching me live, but I just wanted to point out that I am available to be talked to by anybody, probably for the next half hour or so. I'm going to pull up my phone, which my store phone, if you call that number, nobody's going to answer, or they shouldn't. If somebody's answering the store phone, call the police, because someone's in there, and it's not me. Well, doesn't matter really. So yes, it's 10 after 5, so I could keep going here with this. And hold on, where's my little, I got a flippy phone here. And now we can look at this, and it shows, see, tells me what time it is. Even if you're not going to call me, at least I have something to look at here that tells me that I'm moving on. Okay, it just fell over. Number 2, sewing machines. I have had several people in the past 2 weeks, not this past week, although I might have had this past week, talking about lubricating their sewing machines, trying to get their sewing machines all lubricated so they worked well. Well, the problem was they were saying, should I use 3-in-1 oil? And I have talked about it, I've written about it, and people still don't, well, they don't look at all my videos, and I don't blame them. But do not use 3-in-1 oil on your sewing machine, even though it's printed right on that little label in the front. It shows the sewing machine on the label of the 3-in-1 oil. It is going to cause problems sooner or later. First of all, it stinks. It smells pretty bad. And then secondly, it kind of gets gummy after a period of time and slows the machine up, and sometimes it even stops it from turning altogether. All right? So use either gun oil or, hello there. You can come out here. That's all right. My in-laws are walking through, but you won't see them on the camera unless I had. My mother-in-law's phone has a camera that takes pictures in both directions at the same time. It's an amazing looking thing. It would be great for doing interviews of people, showing my ugly mug and the person I'm talking to, their beautiful face. So anyway, they're going out and working in the garden now. All right, so I'm back to you guys, all total of none watching me here. And so lubricating the machine, you only want to lubricate where metal touches metal. Okay, do not lubricate plastic parts, not a good idea. And also, another place that you might put a little smidgen of oil, either on a tissue or on a cloth, is down in the bobbin case area. Different machines, different things, but bobbin case areas, sometimes you'll hear a chattering noise as the sewing machine is running, because some of the bobbin cases, some of the hooks on the machines wiggle back and forth. They do an oscillating motion. And if there's a little bit of grit or a little bit of dryness in there, it will make a banging noise as it goes back and forth. So you just add a little smidgen of oil to a tissue and wipe the inside of that little hook that goes around back and forth. And that can help solve that problem. And then you don't have to take it to a shop and spend all kinds of money, and I'll rob you blind when you come in and bring it into my store. I try not to, but you know, got to make a living somehow. And that's not true. That's not true. All right, so that's the sewing machine answer to the things. Oh, I got one person watching me live on Facebook right now. I am so excited. And if you want to call me on my cell phone right here. I'm in Idaho. It is 1 o'clock there. It's only 10 o'clock here. And call me at 540-325-1191. And you can be live and on the air. My first live and on the air customer to call me, even if you don't have anything to call about, because I'm on vacation. I don't care. You can just call and say hi. Say, hi, I'm watching you on Facebook right now. That would be nice. I've only been on the air here now for at least 2 months, and you would be the first person to call me. I'm not trying to make you feel guilty, because I have no idea who you are. So anyway, I'm talking about, you can ask me questions about sewing machines, lamps, vacuum cleaners, small appliances, furry animals. I don't know answers to those, but I'll try to answer. And we can go from there. By the way, just to let you know, I have stolen my father-in-law's glasses, not permanently, just for now, because mine just finally broke, and I don't have any super glue and baking soda here to fix them. And if you want to know about that, I can tell you how to fix things with that too. All right, so no phone calls, but it's still paid for, and it's charged. My phone is charged out here on the West Coast, or left coast, as some people like to say. All righty, so now I'm going to talk about lamps a little bit. Lamps are something that a lot of people come in and say, I want my lamp fixed because I'm afraid it's going to catch the house on fire. And it could catch your house on fire, but usually the problem is not with the socket itself up in the top where you screw your light bulb in, but it's at the cord and the plug down below. If those things go bad, it could catch your floor on fire, your curtains on fire, or whatever, and cause a fire. But the socket itself, if it goes bad, sparks and things can fly, but you've got a shade on there that's far enough away to keep it from catching anything on fire. So usually the fire does not start at the top of the lamp. It starts in the cord and the plug, and where it plugs into the wall, or where it's touching the carpet or on the floor somewhere. So just be careful. If your cord has some bare wire showing, unplug it. Do not use it. You need to change the cord or shorten the cord up and put a new plug on it. P-L-U-G, plug. Okay? And I lost my one live customer on there. It must have been something I said. Guilt causes people to go away. All right, so plugs on lamps, on vacuum cleaners, on sewing machines, on appliances, all of them. You want to make sure that there's no bare wire showing, no copper showing on these wires. It's very dangerous. On vacuum cleaners, usually there's 2 sets of cords on a vacuum. You've got the outer cover, which is the gray or white or black, whatever color your cord is on your vacuum, and that is completely safe when it's sealed like that. But underneath of there are 2 other wires. They're separate. You've got a black wire and a white wire, sometimes a green wire too. But if those are showing, it's still safe. But if one of those 3 wires there, the copper is showing, time to get it repaired. Do not just kind of coat that. It's time to get it repaired, because those copper wires could short out amongst themselves, cause sparks, and cause a fire. All right? Just be very, very careful on those kind of things. Same way with appliances. You got a blender, or, I have one customer, actually it's a relative, that has a problem with the hedge trimmers. Those electric hedge trimmers, they're cutting the cords on their hedge trimmers all the time. So what I try to do for them is take and make the cord short on the appliance, and then have them use an extension cord. That way, if they cut the cord, they just need to go out and buy a new extension cord. They don't have to worry about having the appliance brought in and having the cord repaired or shortened again. We just make the cord real short on the appliance. Matter of fact, some of these hedge trimmers and things, they don't even put cords on them anymore. They just have a plug that goes into the appliance, so you plug your extension cord into that. Very smart idea, because people are going to be cutting off their cords because they get it messed around and sparks fly, and then it's done. So make sure your cords are in good shape, especially if you're putting them away for the winter. Look at them over, making sure that if you have an electric mower or hedge trimmers or whatever, keeping those in good shape and getting them worked on, or working on them yourself in the winter. Give yourself something to do while winter is coming on, and before spring comes in. Get those things cleaned up and safe. Alrighty. I think I've talked about everything that I was going to talk about today with appliances and things. I did want to, some people have asked me about Bible verses, to bring a Bible verse up. And this week, I'm going to have a verse that actually tells 2 different stories. And the verse of Scripture I'm going to be reading is John 10:10. Okay, it's in the Bible. And I remember 10:10. My kids liked him. There was a Dutch cartoon about this little boy and his dog. And anyway, but that's not what we're talking about here. Or Rin 10:10. I remember that as a boy. The German Shepherd dog, and part of the cavalry in the day. And that was a different 10:10. But this is John 10:10. And John 10:10, I think I've seen an example of it this past week. On Sunday, I watched the memorial service for Charlie Kirk. Now, you might not agree with everything he said. That's fine. I don't agree with everything he said. But one of the things that was important, he said that Jesus was the most important thing. He didn't care too much about your politics if you disagreed, because he had an argument, and he was very good at it. Matter of fact, I think that's why it got him shot. He was so good at it that nobody could silence him. But the point is that he was killed. And one of the things you did not notice at the memorial, or even in the news everywhere, there aren't any fires. No houses are on fire, no cars overturned, nothing like that. Because he made the point of saying that Jesus said that he came to give us life and to give it more abundantly. But he also then talked about the thief comes. Wait, what does thief come to do? To steal, kill, and destroy. If you notice the news, there's not a lot of stealing and destroying going on right now. There's still some killing going on, but that's because I don't think people know how to handle when things don't go their way. And, you know, if you don't know how to handle when things don't go your way, I would say praying is one. And I know some people make fun of that. That's terrible. Don't think about praying. But praying is a good way of handling when things don't go your way. All right. Well, that's my little point today. You got you've got two sides. You got one that comes along and protests and burns and kills and stills, and the other side that comes along and prays and sings and thanks God that we have a Savior. Just a little point. You don't have to agree with me. That's all right. Please don't burn my building down. Okay. So anyway, thank you all for this week. Live from Idaho. I will be back in Woodstock next week. And since I did not get a call during my time here live on the air at 1 o'clock, I might try doing it at 10 o'clock again next week. Or leave some comments saying, you know, if I'd have known you were going to be live at 10 o'clock, at 1 o'clock in Woodstock, I would have come on the air live. So if you make some comments in the notes down below here, down below either on Facebook here or on YouTube down there, do so. Let me know that you said, hey man, I like the idea of it being on at 1 o'clock. I could call you better and I could ask you about my sewing machine or my vacuum cleaner or my lamp, okay? Or my weird neighbor. No, I don't fix relationships. I just try to fix vacuum sewing machines and lamps and small appliances. I've already helped my mother-in-law with her well, I'm not going to tell you what I helped her with because it wasn't something I normally work on. But I did help here today. I like helping and fixing things. So, I got my shirt on here that says Ralph. I helped out with the community club over the weekend at the Old Time Festival at Edinburgh, making apple butter. And it's very good apple butter. I have a friend of mine that's in North Carolina that asked about it. And I will be back next week. If you want to come up and visit, come on. I'll get you some apple butter to buy. Alrighty? Thank you all very much. You have a great week. I'll see you all next week back in Woodstock, Virginia at Shenandoah SewandVac at 149 North Main Street. Or 498, I'm sorry. 498 North Main Street in Woodstock, Virginia. I am open from 10 to 4, Wednesday through Friday, Saturdays 10 till 2. And you can call me at the store at 540-459-1888, or, you know, go ahead, call me on the cell phone. That's fine. And if I don't answer, it's most likely I'm in the shower. I don't answer the phone in the shower. So, thank you all. I'm going to hang up on Facebook first because Facebook erases me and doesn't keep me going. Let's see if I can hit the button here. Where does it say hang up? Oh, live. I guess if I hit live, I've been on 19 minutes. That's normally I'm on for a half hour, but not today. Let's see if I can hang up. Where does it say hang up? Finish. Oops. They're going away. Say goodnight. That's done. Now, on Facebook, on YouTube, I mean, thank you all for watching on this. This is where I try to keep it because they don't disappear me. And I'll try to put this on Facebook also so you all can look at it this way instead of that way. All right. Thank you all so much. You all have a great week. Hope to see you all next week live from Woodstock, Virginia. Bye-bye. All right. Yes, I do wish to end here. And do you want to end your YouTube session live? Yes, I want to keep it, though. If you keep this live session, it will be maintained on YouTube. Okay, I'm going to keep it. Okay. Thank you all very much. Say goodnight, Gracie. Good night, Gracie.